Yeah, so AI smart planning, this is an area of huge opportunity in factories. So you go into any factory and you ask, how do you plan? And if you go high enough in the organization, maybe you have the aspirational answer. We have an advanced planning and scheduling tool. We have APS. Maybe we do it in ERP. We bought an entire tool. We have a department. We do simulations. Those things are all true. Like those systems exist, and aspirationally, we're trying to get there. But in practice, you go day to day in the factory. How is it done? It's a person with a lot of expert knowledge and Excel trying to basically be a matchmaker between how do my factory lines actually work? What do I know about them? And what do I need to deliver from this factory? And codifying that into all of these sort of deterministic rules, technical capabilities, matching this work order to that line is very challenging and is often in tacit knowledge inside someone's head. This is why it's been so hard to adopt advanced planning and scheduling tools. One, they're very expensive, but two, they're very cumbersome and challenging to use because it's not the case that you have all of the rules written down in a nice machine understandable way that are in the planner's head. So factories rely on a very small number of expert planners who sort of know how to do this work, and they produce a plan in Excel, dispatch it to the factory, don't have great visibility into how it's working, and then do it again next week. So smart planning, especially with AI, is about meeting factories where they're at. It's true, you are not using an APS right now. And if you wanted to, you would not have the technological constraints in a machine readable way you could feed into an APS. That's why you haven't been able to adopt that technology. Instead, let's help your planner, the person doing the planning, and make their job a little bit better and give you huge benefits. So what's number one? Live visibility, real-time visibility into how the plan is performing. Linking that actual data on the shop floor directly to the plan, visualizing it in one place, and allowing planners to react when there's a change before it becomes a crisis. So if I know, for example, I'm gonna miss a work order that needs to be done because another thing depends on it, I can know that 5 hours in advance or a day in advance because I can predict I'm not gonna make it. I know I've got 5 hours of work left and there's only 2 hours left before my deadline. There's no way I can make it. I know that now. I know I'm gonna be 3 hours delayed. Let me give an alert to the planner. Action manager can do this. React is the overall data model monitoring the factory on behalf of the planner, comparing plan versus actual and showing you that delta. But then now you can go one step further. What should that change be? And this is an area where the new AI tools that work on words and on like written unstructured data are so important. Because while the planner may not have a list of like mechanistic rules, they can describe what they do. They can describe how they match jobs to lines. They can say, this one needs 5 pick and places, this one needs 6. They write a document. And now those AI tools can take that document, those instructions, and then given that, help the planner. Hey, this is what you've told me about what you know. Based on that, then you should probably put this work order here, this work order here. Let me look at your plan. Based on what you've told me, your plan actually has these issues that it's gonna have. It doesn't require first turning it into something that is understandable for a deterministic computer, but very unnatural for a person. It works with the representations that people work on. Here's literally an Excel. Here's a document describing what the requirements are. Put those together, check my plan. Hey, I see an issue where now I'm delayed. Cascade that chain down, give me a new Excel. Like that's what the new AI tools are able to do. They meet factories where they're at and don't force them to first solve a bunch of very challenging problems. How do you digitize all of the tacit knowledge inside a planner's head? And only once you do that, can you feed it into like a global optimization tool like an APS and get value? That's very challenging. If you're there, that's great. And this data is critically useful for your APS. Most factories aren't. And so instead it's about helping the planners today, using the tools that they are doing and working with the natural language and file-based approach that they work on today to provide value immediately in the factory.